Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Habiba Kafafi and you're listening to Getting into the Human's Mind. Welcome back. Before I start with today's topic, I just want to take some time to thank you guys and thank every individual out there who supported me and gave me such wonderful feedbacks that will definitely stay with me up until the end of this journey. And I genuinely hope that the last episode benefited you guys and helped you guys to learn more about yourself and actually understand yourself more and perceive things in life differently, because that's the whole point of this podcast, is that I help you guys out. So I genuinely hope, inshallah, that I did reach this point or goal. Yes, and another thing I actually wanted to say that I apologize for not providing translations for the Arabic words or phrases that I mentioned in the previous episode, considering the fact that I did provide for Assalamu alaikum, but I forgot for Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin and Tawakkalu ala Allah. So Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin, if you heard the previous episode, it actually means Allah is always with those who are truly patient. Allah is always with those whom are patient with themselves and are trusting Allah. And tawakkal ala Allah, it actually means, it's kind of also related to that, because you have to be patient as well. But tawakkal ala Allah, it means relying on Allah and Allah only, and putting all your trust in Allah. So I hope that it clarifies the two phrases that I used. So, on to today's topic. That topic, just a little disclaimer out there, took me so much time to actually think of it. I actually wanted to think of something that is actually quite important and something that people would need to know of. And I think I can't get onto this journey without talking about this topic, because this is one of the things that will help you out so much, considering the fact that today's I won't say today's generation or today's people specifically, but nowadays it's actually increasing day by day, where people slowly are starting to, actually not starting, it actually has been happening for a while now, but people day by day increasingly neglect this thing. And it's ironic because we can't, as humans, literally go one day without it. And that is Salah, which is prayer. So personally, I would try to cover as much things I know about Salah and help you understand its importance. Because Wallahi al-Azim, Salah, I don't know how to say Wallahi al-Azim, but I just want you guys to actually believe that Salah, or prayer, is one of the important bases, or one of the important things we actually need in life. It's the key into opening all the doors in our life, and we can't go one step, we can't take one step in life without it. And before I start, also I just want to say that a lot of the things I will mention today's episode, I was inspired by Yasmin Mugahed. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She is I think an Islamic lecturer, she gives Islamic lectures, and she's also on Spotify podcast, and I listen to her podcasts and they're actually very helpful and beneficial. So if you want to check her out, please do. She actually plays a huge role into changing my mindset, and it's very beneficial. So on to today's topic. I'll try my best to cover as many things as I can. Also, please keep in mind I'm not very experienced. So to begin with, what is Salah? Let's just say, let's define Salah as Salah, regardless of the fact that its instant translation is prayer. But what is Salah? As Habiba, would personally define Salah as an instruction book. It's, that instruction book you get, or a catalog you get with a new device you got. It's literally that. You won't be able to interact or deal with that new device. It's cumbersome, it's sophisticated. What's confiscated? sophisticated device you got, you're not really able to like understand it or like deal with it. So you kind of like go to the catalog or like the instruction book in order to like know how to like, you know, use that device. It gives you the steps like 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is exactly what Salah is to me. I can't go on with life without praying, because Salah is your guidance. Salah is your instruction book. It's your catalog. It kind of leads you onto like a successful path in life, and in a path that's full of ease and blessing. If you don't pray, just know that you're going on the other path and you're going down the drain. Like as clear as that. That is how it's actually like if you don't pray, or you're a muqassir, I don't know how to provide translation of muqassir, but I hope you understand. Like you're kind of like not doing your job here. You won't be getting what you want, and you will be living in this depressive like bubble. And another way I would explain Salah is kind of, let's take a real life scenario of a child who's like completely like disobedient to his parents. You know, like they don't listen to their parents. They're very quite like naughty or whatever. They don't behave well. Do you think that child will get whatever they want, like that toy they want? Obviously not. And if they do, they're spoiled. And that's the thing about us humans. Allah does not teach us things in a spoiled manner, in a spoiled way, because we're meant to learn in this life. And that's why we keep falling and getting up. We need to keep getting up, and we get up by praying. And I use this real life scenario to explain Salah, because I personally think that if you don't pray, Allah will not give you what you want. Like, I'm sorry, if you're here like struggling with your studies, like us university students in general, if you're struggling with your studies, you're struggling with your project, you're struggling with anything in life, literally, and you're not praying, then why are you questioning life? Like, this is literally how life works. As a Muslim, or not as a Muslim, as a human, you know, even as a human, you're supposed to be worshiping Allah, whether you're a Christian or not. At the end of the day, you're supposed to be worshiping Allah. Like, I'm not saying that what Christians do is right. Like, slowly, inshallah, a step by a step, maybe they're in an ignorant phase, but step by step they'll get to know Islam, and they will get to know what Salah is. But I'm saying that you can't really get onto life without worshiping Allah. Because a matter of fact, Allah has mentioned that وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْإِنسَ وَالْجِنَّ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I did not create jinn and mankind except that they should worship. This is our literal purpose in life. We're not supposed to be working. We're not supposed to be marrying. We're not meant to be having kids. We're not meant to be like winning the elections. We're not meant to be doing a lot of things that are literally on our bucket list. We're not meant to be doing that. Like, yes, do it, sure. Okay, this is how we get through with life, but this is not our purpose. Our purpose is to worship Allah, because our actual test isn't your IELTS test or isn't your GCSEs. Like, study for that, I'm not saying anything, but your actual test is Judgment Day. And matter of fact, the first thing you're going to be asked about is your Salah. The Prophet ﷺ said that the first thing you'll be asked about on Judgment Day is your Salah. And if your Salah is in order, everything else comes after it is in order. Literally, if your Salah is not in order, just know khalas. Everything else is it's like, you know, a building. You know, like, I'm not going to use the architecture words here. It's going to probably be confusing, but like, it's like the building blocks, you know? It's kind of like the building blocks of your life, of your iman, of your your life, literally, yeah. So if the first building block is not Salah, everything else is gonna fall right instantly. Nothing else is gonna be holding still. So if you don't keep that consistent, and if you don't even do that to begin with, then khalas, like, I'm sorry, but like, you're done for. Just know in Judgment Day, I'm not here to like judge you or tell you if you're gonna go to hell or heaven. I'm just telling you that this is how it's like. And another thing I wanted to say that, I've heard a lot of people, like, no, I haven't heard, but it's like, I do know all the people. Matter of fact, sometimes, we get caught up with life a lot that we forget, like, our purpose, as I said, Salah, right? And that is quite foolish, because it's foolish to take care of what's like temporary, like dunya, like our life, this world is very temporary. It will literally vanish right before your eyes. Like, I don't know like how to explain it to you, or how to like get you this, like deliver this message to you, but literally everything in your life, like your daily routines, your work, your struggles, everything is gonna pass by like a flash. You're not gonna even remember any of it, and the next thing you know, you're standing right before Allah, and you're gonna be questioned about your salah, about your hijab, about your siyam, everything. About your salah, your prayer, your hijab, your headscarf, your siyam, your fasting. You're going to be asked about all the, the important things in Islam. So you need to keep these consistent. I'm not here saying that I am a perfect role model. As a matter of fact, I actually do struggle a lot. But you know what differs a person from another is a person struggling but is trying, then a person is struggling and is being ignorant. Someone who's struggling, they're like, oh my god, like it's very hard for me to pray, like to get off bed and like to do this and make wudu. Oh my god, that is so hard. Like, I just hate the part of wudu. Like, do you hate being clean? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You hate being clean? Because like, alhamdulillah, our religion is very being clean is one of the important things in a religion. And if you hate doing that, then you're not following the right religion. That's why we need to make wudu. Because like you're facing Allah, you're having a little conversation with Allah. You don't want to make wudu. You're not coming here to talk to your friend. You're not coming here to talk to your mom. You're talking to Allah. You have to be in your best condition. And if you're gonna go like pray while you're all sweaty and like I don't know what, that literally isn't like the right way to do it. So you have to make wudu. And a little thing I actually heard or like found out about is that actually praying without wudu, I forgot it. La Salah, I think, I don't remember the literal hadith or who said it, but there was this scholarship. It's not like in some obscure hadith or anything, but it's actually a very known hadith, which I actually don't know how to phrase it literally, or I don't remember the scholar who said it. You can look it up if you want, but La Salah bidun wudu and La wudu bidun dhikr ism Allah, meaning that if you pray without wudu, there's no wudu for you. And if you make wudu without saying, mentioning Allah's name, there's no wudu for you. Because everything in life actually most things we do in life, we have to say it in the name of Allah, because He's the creator. We're literally just makhluqeen min teen. We're literally created from soil. So who are we? So we're literally actually, and it's also like kind of like to have barakah in what you're doing. You're meant to, actually do things in the name of Allah. So one of them, and it's very important, like how slaughtering animals is like. You know how we slaughter animals, we have to say in the name of Allah. That's the same thing with wudu. When you do wudu, you say Bismillah, and then you start your wudu. And another thing I actually found out about, these are all things I actually didn't know, just to let you know. I'm not like experienced 100%. I'm learning here as you are, so if you don't know this, it's completely fine. And as a matter of fact, I think in being ignorant, you're actually like Allah kind of like is forgiving. Allah's forgiving. So if you're ignorant and you didn't know about this, so it's fine. But if you're ignorant, okay, and you know about it and you still act like you're ignorant, then that's something else. Like that's a different issue, But what I wanted to say is I forgot what I wanted to say. I forgot. What the hell? I think I was wudu. Wudu. Yeah, okay. So when you make wudu, I'm not actually gonna teach you how to make wudu tutorial 101 here, but most of us, as a matter of fact, even me actually, I didn't know that, but now I do. When making wudu, we wipe only the top of our head. Just like even hijabis, like some hijabis here, when they make wudu, they don't take off their headscarf. okay? They just like wipe it on the top. And not only hijab, is like men even who wear like caps or something, they just wipe it. And that's actually wrong, because Prophet ﷺ, he used to actually kind of wipe his head or wet his head from all the way from like the beginning all the way to the end. And some scholars actually said that I think he wets his ears as well. You see, I'm not really actually I'm sure about this information, but I'm not sure about the literal phrasing of it, so you can check the actual hadith, but you will find it. So this is the proper way of praying. And actually, I was actually sent to this video, like a friend of mine sent me this video the other day of how to actually properly pray, and I found out that there are a lot of things that I do wrong while praying. Like, I don't even do them, the way I put my hands while praying, the way I, like the actual, steps of praying. Most of us do it wrong because we weren't taught the right way, but it's never too late to actually start learning. And I just want to say something for those who don't pray at all. And when I say they literally don't pray, and I'm not gonna mention names, but I have friends who don't pray at all. And it's fine, you think you can go in life without praying. They go I'm an A-star student or a straight A student or whatever, and I'm healthy, alhamdulillah, and my family is well, and everything is well in life, so I don't see why I should pray. This is the very most dangerous and risky thing for a human. It's like you're saying, I don't really know what example I can give you with this statement, but it's very dangerous, because you're saying that you can go in life without Allah. You're literally a teen, literally, who are you? You're literally a mammal. So we can go right now, for the time being, your life can be pitch perfect, it can be all good on spot. You never know what is coming after that. You don't know, maybe tomorrow you'll be given such a horrible news and you won't be able to get out of it. And when you don't want to start praying once you hear this bad news, or once you get into this deep hole or whatever, you want to start praying from now. And a matter of fact, praying needs preparation. As I told you, wudu, and you need to read the right way. And when it comes to khushu', I would say try your best. A lot of us actually it's not, it's unfortunate that a lot of us actually don't really memorize big surahs, and they kind of say them while praying. So most of us just go with Surah Al-Ikhlas, the first few surahs of the Quran, literally. So you kind of pray unconsciously. You're not praying consciously. You don't know what you're saying while you're praying. You're just saying it because your mouth is used to it. And this is actually a psychological thing. I don't really know what it's called, but when our mouth is kind of very used to saying something, it kind of says it without being conscious of what it's being said, if you know what I mean. So we say Surah Al-Ikhlas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, and we go on with the surah, and we don't actually know what we're saying. I'm not asking you to know the little tafsir. That would be better, obviously. We get more hasanat or more reward. But I'm not asking you to know the little tafsir. What I'm asking you to do is change the surahs. When you change the surahs, your mind is actually being tricked here. It's actually putting a bit effort into focusing into your salah, because you don't want to mess up in your salah. And this is when you start having an actual good, proper conversation with Allah. And actually salah, I've had a friend, may Allah she was literally when we were young, ever since we were young, when I was back in Malaysia, when we were young, she would actually tell me that she would wait for salah. She had her little salah praying clothes, her little praying clothes, and it was cute in her little mat, and she would take it around everywhere she goes, literally. And she would actually wait the adhans. She would literally leave everything she has and she goes to pray. And we were young that time. I think we were in grade 3 or 4. I don't remember. She would literally leave everything she has and she goes to pray. And she does not pray 5-second praying. I'm saying she prays. And her sujood, it's I don't know, a minute long or something. And I started doing that one, a step by step, because I started to discover that actually when you pray, you relieve all the stress from the dunya. It's that 5-minute break from dunya. Do we really not want to have a break from the dunya? Are we that attached to dunya? Like, I heard this one thing, I don't know, an old lady said it to me before, is that enjoy your like استمتع بالدنيا بس ما تتعلقيش بيها. Okay, I think my grandma told me that, I'm not sure. Is that like enjoy your dunya, enjoy your life, but don't get too attached to it. Because once you get attached to the dunya, once you get attached to life, it's like, it's a red zone here. Like, it's actually a red zone, because you can't really do anything that is for the hereafter, that is supposed to be eternal. Because we as humans foolishly take care of what's temporary and neglect what's eternal. You know, like what's going to be with us in the hereafter, we completely neglect that. And that happens when you get attached to the dunya, when you get attached to life. So she would literally, like, my friend, back to her, she would literally like, go right away and pray. And as I told you, her sujood were literally like a good minute or something. And when I tried doing that, I found out that when I do sujood, by the way, first of all, it has like a medical reason behind it. When you kind of like are in a position of sujood, like those who have migraine, okay, they literally, if they sit in the position of sujood, this kind of releases all their stress and the migraine and the headache they have. So if you only know that our salah, our praying is there to actually benefit us from the start to the end of it, from the A to the Z, you will be mind blown and you will be surprised, like everything in it. So when I tell you that the position of sujood actually releases your stress, and let alone when you pray, when you do sujood, like sujood is probably my favorite part in praying, is that I just put my head on the mat and I just start talking to Allah. You know, I say Subhana Rabbi al-Ala, Subhana Rabbi al-Ala 3 times, and then I say whatever I want to say. Because it's actually better to not actually seek help from people. Like, I'm not saying don't seek help from people at all, but it's actually better to seek help from Allah, obviously. Like, I don't really go around, I'm not saying, okay, I'm not going to make it personal, but it's better to not go around to keep asking, consistently asking people for help. Like, I'm not saying be that independent person. Like, it's better to be independent, but I'm just saying that it's better to be dependent on Allah than to be dependent on people. Because people here are the same as you. They're still figuring out their life like you. So why are you here asking, like, okay, Mashi, if it's someone like older than you, for your parents, like, yeah, go out, obviously ask and seek for their help. But I'm saying it's preferable to ask Allah. You know, you obviously won't have instant results right away, but the results will come out, you know, and that's the point of being patient, and that's the point of being reliant on Allah and putting all your trust in Allah, is that once you ask for something, be patient that it would slowly come. So that's the point of praying, and that's the point of like sujood, and that's the point of communicating with Allah, is that you get all these benefits. Like, you get all these benefits and you still want to tell me you're gonna like prefer watching that show or prefer watching that video, 1 minute video, than go praying. Like, I know it's natural as humans. Like, I sometimes do it when I'm sometimes using my phone, and that then ends, I don't instantly jump off my chair. Like, it takes me some time, but try to practice it. Like, you will struggle, but as long as you practice it, Allah sees what's in your heart. Allah sees your intentions, you know? What is it? Inna al-a'malu bin... Basically, your actions are seen through your intentions, not through your actions. Okay? وَإِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Yeah, I think that's the word or the phrase. So keep trying and keep struggling. It's completely fine. That's the point of life. We keep struggling, we keep falling, but we keep getting back up. And we will get up with Allah's help, not on our own, not with our 2 feet. It's not about feet here. It's not about strength here. It's about iman. It's about believing, you know, how strong your iman is. It's not how your physical strength is, but how is your religious strength is, okay? And also, I want to like say a thing for those who, because I've met these type of people like everywhere. They're literally everywhere. I can go on forever to talk about, you know, them. Obviously, I won't mention names, but I've seen a lot of people, when I tell them, yalla, let's go pray, and it's obviously, especially with like females, I didn't really try males, but like females especially, whether she's a hijabi or not a hijabi, she would tell me, I would prefer praying at home. I prefer praying at home. So she would rather delay her salah for absolutely no reason. You don't have an excuse, I'm sorry. You don't have an excuse, okay? She would rather delay her salah for whatever she's doing so she can preferably pray at home. Like, I get you, you're praying at home is calm, you have more khushu' or whatnot. But delaying your salah is actually more prohibited than you praying. Yani the fact that it's prohibited, obviously you won't get more reward for delaying your salah and praying with khushu' at your home. That's complete stupidity. I'm sorry, but that's stupid. Like, if you're gonna delay your salah just for the fact that you pray with khushu' at home, I'm sorry. And I've heard also the whole, I don't like making wudu here. Honey, you make wudu wherever you are. Inshallah, if there's no water, Allah has given us the opportunity to do tayammum, which is like, I don't know what's tayammum in English, I'm sorry, but you can look it up, which is like making wudu without water, like on any, like, I think wood surface. There are a lot of alternatives, but there is no alternative for you to delay your salah. Like, it's that important, it's that mandatory. So you don't really have an excuse at all. You know what's your only excuse? If you were sleeping, there are 3 excuses actually. If you're sleeping and you didn't hear like the salah or whatever, or someone did not wake you up. If you were drunk, not like drunk, but if you're like crazy, I think, I'm not sure. And obviously for those who are in their period, like women, okay? And I think there is one more excuse, I'm not sure. But these are the only excuses. Besides that, anything is khalas. Like, it's not like forgivable. Allah has given us a lot of opportunities, and you're out here saying I want to delay my salah for these like lame excuses. And I've heard the whole that for non-hijabis, okay, they would sometimes come, like, whenever I would tell like a non-hijabi, like, yalla, let's go pray, and she goes like, I don't have like something to wear or cover myself. Listen, I want to tell you this one thing. I personally struggle to like stick with it, but if you're wearing something or if you're dressed up in something you can't pray with, just know you can't leave the house with it, okay? And this literally explains, like, the whole hijab topic thing is something else I'm not gonna get into, but this literally explains the whole fact of how mandatory a hijab is, that you can't leave your house without a hijab. Pretty much, because you can't pray with your hair, right? So if you can't pray with your hair, okay, it's not permissible. You can't leave the house like that, looking like that, first of all. So another thing, okay, so an alternative I would suggest that hijabis to do is carry around a hijab with you. What do they call it in Arabic? Is that, or like, I don't know, I think some people say inas as-salah, I don't know. But carry around with you a prayer clothes. If you're not gonna carry around with you a hijab on your head, carry around with you a prayer clothes. Seriously, it's either. Like, you're not just gonna go around like not praying and not wearing the hijab as well. And what are you, a 5-year-old? Like, I'm sorry, this is not how things work like here. This is not how Islam is like. You're meant to pray at some point, Like, there's prayer timings. You're supposed to stick to them. So if you're just gonna be like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pray, I don't have a hijab with me, or I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pray because I don't like praying here, it's not clean. You know what, actually, there's this thing that has been stuck with me ever since I was like in 6th grade back in school, is that back in school I used to leave the house at like, I think 5:30 a.m, I'm not sure, or like around that time, okay? I used to leave like at Fajr time. So I used to sometimes miss my Fajr prayer because I would be so like caught up, like being in a rush, like getting dressed up, having breakfast, packing my bag and leaving right away. Sometimes I'd actually forget to pray and I'd be like, I'll pray in school. And obviously I don't pray in school. I go like I get caught up with my friends. But there's this one time, and I'll never forget this, man. This one time I saw this one bus driver. He was driving his bus, okay? He stopped the bus the moment the adhan, okay, like a few minutes later, he stopped the bus, he parked the bus, and he like stood right beside it and he started praying. No mat, nothing. I think he had his wudu already, like he already prepared himself from home. I don't know what he did, but no mat, nothing. No air conditioner, no anything, okay? Just like pure, I think he was on the road or something, like the walking, like pedestrian area, okay? He was there. Nothing. And he just parked his bus, not his bicycle, his bus. There, he didn't still like pick up the students. He parked his bus and he prayed right there. And that's when you know that we as humans, as Muslims, as Muslims, we're meant to pray anywhere on this surface, on the surface of this planet. Anywhere. Literally anywhere. If you're on a beach, you can pray on the sand. If you are in a mall, pray literally at a corner. If you're in a restaurant, pray anywhere. And you're allowed to pray anywhere, unless it's a bathroom, obviously, or it's a place that's not like sanitized, or it's not like clean. Obviously you can't pray there. And you have to be aware of what you're praying, like right in front of. Like if there are people going to be passing by, you try to avoid that, put something right in front of you. But beside that, no excuses. Like, please, no excuses. And I'm stressing on this point because I've met a lot of people who always give me such excuses, and it boils my blood, because like, are you actually like gonna prefer doing what you're doing than go and pray, or like have a 5-minute talk with Allah? Are you that caught up with the dunya? Like, I know it's very natural of us humans. Okay, I personally sometimes get caught up with the dunya and I forget about my prayers. But don't make it something like don't make it like normal. Like, it's not normal. That is not normal. That is abnormal, and we're not gonna allow that. So please try to stay consistent with your salah, and also before being consistent, try to like get to praying. And if you haven't been praying for the past 10 years, 18 years, you have never prayed before in your life, make this the first step and the first time to actually start praying. And please, once you pray, and try your best to do it in the right way. Obviously, as I told you, Allah sees your struggles, and Allah sees you trying. But if you're gonna actually start praying, and once you finish praying, you're gonna feel such easiness and such relief you've never felt it before. Like after coming, the thing is, us humans, we make our life, our salah revolves around our life, while actually, supposedly, our life is supposed to revolve around our salah. Actually, one of the scholars they mentioned, and this is something very important, I don't know how I did not mention it before, like in the beginning of the podcast or the episode, is that, actually before, back in the days, when Islam was first, known, we were meant to pray actually 50 times a day, like 50, I'm not saying 5, I'm saying 50, like 50 times a day. And then I think Musa alayhi salam, he told they told the Prophet, peace be upon him, that Ya Rasul, inna qawmi, my people cannot pray 50 times, so ask your Lord to reduce it. So Muhammad, or like Prophet Rasul ﷺ, actually went up to Allah and he asked, oh ya Allah, Musa cannot pray 50 times a day, or they just cannot pray 50 times a day. Try to reduce it. So he kept reducing it one by like a time by a time, and they reached to 5. Okay, and and then Musa alayhi salam said that, Ya Rasulullah, they cannot also do 5. And then that's when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was like, khalas, like, I'm not gonna go up again and ask Allah, like, they have to just stick to 5 at least. So what does that mean? What like little like idea does that give you about salah? Is that we were meant to not do anything besides praying. We were not meant to do anything in life besides worshiping. Like, imagine praying 50 times a day. How is your day gonna be like? Are you gonna be able to have anything in your day go by beside praying? You're gonna be praying like every second, like at 8 a.m., like Fajr, all the way from Fajr to Isha. Imagine praying 50 times. That's not even Taraweeh. That's like double Taraweeh, or like triple, I don't know. So imagine going a whole day praying 50 times a day. That literally just interprets the fact that us humans, my God, I keep saying humans, us Muslims were meant to pray 24/7. We're not meant to be working 24/7. We were meant to be praying. That's the actual work we're meant to be doing here in this dunya, is that worship Allah and nothing else. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْإِنسَ وَالْجِنَّ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And I did not create jinn and mankind except that they should be worshipping. So that's what we're supposed to do. And obviously Allah did know the fact that us humans were going to be asking for a reduction in praying from like 50 to 5. but he made it that way so we could understand the the meaning behind it, or the little definition, or the purpose behind it, and it, kind of portraying how important Salah is. So I just want you to keep in mind all the points that I've mentioned, all the little things I've said about Salah and how important it is, and I hope that actually gave you an idea of how important Salah is, and kind of motivated you, and kind of pushes you to actually start praying. Because really, if you don't pray, خلاص عادي, it's fine. Inshallah, Allah forgives you. Allah is forgiving. Inna Allah Rahim, But if you're gonna actually listen to this and understand it and know what I'm talking about, and still choose to actually keep neglecting or ignoring and living in just complete ignorance, then you got issues. I'm telling you, you got issues, and they should be solved. You need to start, it's fine. Literally take a step by step. Try to, I'm not going to tell you wake up for Fajr, set an alarm, try to actually stick to your praying, I'm not going to tell you, whenever the adhan, you need to jump off your chair and leave what you're doing. No, try to pray. At least just start from there. We start small, right? Just start from there. Just start, to stick to your 5 prayers. Stick to praying Dhuhr every day, at least, if you're free that time. One by one, a step by step, you're actually gonna try to, inshallah, be complete. And us humans, we're never complete. We're sinful, okay? And we're full of mistakes. We're imperfect. So it's gonna take us a lot of effort actually to be complete, and we will never reach there. So inshallah, Allah will help you and guide you to praying and make it easy on you. And I hope this benefited you, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.